have a 170-pound MMA fight coming up. He is 5'11", weighs 170 pounds with a record of 1-1. His gym is Saga Combat Systems from, well, there you go. From Pembroke, New Jersey by way of Lincoln, North Carolina, William Ronan Maddox. His opponent fighting out of the red corner at a height of 6'1", 170 pounds with a record of 1-1, fighting from Asheboro School of Martial Arts and Chino's Boxing from Asheboro, North Carolina by way of Jamestown, North Carolina. Please give it up for Wyatt Joyce.
It is Fight for 4 in Hickory, North Carolina. Chaz Bryant, joined by Tyler Shepperton. William Maddox comes in with a 1-1 record at 5'11", 170 pounds, fighting out of the Saga Combat Systems. Wyatt Joyce has a matching 1-1 record at 170 pounds at 6-1, fighting out of Asheboro School of Martial Arts and Chino Boxing.
Good work as these guys come in flurrying.
Yeah,
William Ronan looking for the neck, brings him down, transitions him over.
transitions like a mug here.
Good work there.
Just a little background real quick as these guys are going at it. William Maddox is 1-1, hasn't fought since 2015 in MMA. Nice slam there.
Bringing him down to the mat hard. William Maddox now currently holding that top position. Wyatt Joyce on the bottom. Wyatt making a couple little rabbit punches from the bottom, trying to get something working here.
Wyatt Joyce with the 1-1 record had both his fights coming in 2017 up till now. The latest fight was a loss versus Christopher Sosa in Warfare by decision, but a win back in August versus Mikel Golden at Fight for number 1. So his
it all comes full circle.
Yeah. William go ahead. All right. William Maddox. His last fight back in 2015 was a win versus Travis Short. And if I'm correct, Travis Short used to be a teammate of mine down in Modern Warrior MMA as Mr. Dale Sunshine Fry gets him away from the bars there.
Yeah, Reese has him here. This one's a little bit different here. We're doing MMA in the squared circle. We got ropes instead of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Stay low. Stay low. Put him on his back.
We still got
William
Maddox climbing over the top.
Trying to get his back there.
Missing the hook, so losing the position.
And
good rule of thumb to live by.
Yeah.
Position before submission. If you don't have those hooks in, that's going to happen.
a nice flurry of punches by Maddox there.
Throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him. William Maddox throwing from the back pocket.
But I was just looking at Joyce's eyes as he went up against the ropes there. His eyes got wide as he didn't want to get pushed out of the ring there. Slam on his head. Just about.
Strong takedown here as they're again on the ropes. This time it's Wyatt Joyce that's on top controlling the action.
Maddox gave up his back there. Not a smart decision right now. I'm going to protect my water here.
Looks like he's going to try to pull that foot out. Gets caught in the cross member of the ropes. Going for the high crotch, coming down. William Maddox actually got that underhook and turned into it, so he saved himself a little bit there.
10 seconds left.
Wrapped around the neck, but don't think he's going to be able to get anything. They'll hold it here, and that'll be the end of the first round.
I like it. Very competitive first round. I think it's sort of hard to give. If there is a slight edge, I'm going to give it to William Maddox there in that first round.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be pretty fair to say. He really controlled the first half
Yeah.
of the action. He had 2 takedowns in that round to Wyatt Joyce's 1 takedown in that round.
But Joyce started to pick it up there at the end of that end of that first round there. So that's why I sort of said slim slice of the cheese there by William Maddox there, but the takedowns very much gave him the points there.
Yeah, I would say so too, but just as you alluded to, Wyatt Joyce really found his flow there at the end of that round. So it'd be interesting to see how they come out in round number 2 now that he got that takedown, got on top, and controlled a little bit of the pace of action.
Yeah, a very slim slice of cheese, but if he's going to get the slice, it's give it to Mr. William Maddox there. His first fight in about 4 years from 2015. I've seen him before, if I'm correct, do maybe a grappling match with Fight Fort, maybe the first one, because he looks familiar.
Back into the action, round number 2. A couple decent shots landed by both guys. Changing positions here on the cage.
Just how would you play these ropes here? Because it's a unique circumstance, just like we alluded to in another fight. It's very different than working off of the cage. This is a completely different animal.
It changes the whole game. It changes your whole mindset going into it. You don't have that cage to, for instance, if you are on bottom, you don't have that to wall walk up and get back to your feet. If you're going for a takedown, you don't have that to stop your opponent.
I think we might have to catch a guy. Do the rope.
I'd say that they're getting close to the edge here. William Maddox, for those watching, he dropped down, grabbed arm in guillotine. Wyatt Joyce is able to get out of it.
And Wyatt Joyce had his back to the outside the ropes there, and he was
Dale
creeping
Fry's
calling.
stopping things. So you got a little bit of that pre-wrap coming out of the wrapped hands of Wyatt Joyce in that red corner.
Yeah.
Calling for some scissors.
And if you notice, William Maddox cannot go over to the corner to get any advice. He's got to go to a neutral corner. That's why he's
got that piece snipped, and we're back underway. A couple strong left hands and a right hook to the body.
I like the
by
strike.
Will Maddox.
I like the striking coming out of Will Maddox here.
It's, I think he really grasps the concept of punches and bunches.
Oh, got him mounted.
You got the S mount position.
Man, slips aren't there, Mr. Wyatt Joyce. You slippery young fella.
When Wyatt got mounted, he had one arm in, so that's how
Right out.
Will was able to come out that back door and get out, and now he's back to the feet. Inside trip. Nice by Wyatt Joyce going back on top, and now he gains the full mount.
Yeah. Let's see how Mr. William Maddox reacts to this. He's got to do some movement here. He gave up his back.
A couple hammer fists there.
Let's see what Mr. Dale Fry wants to see.
You see how as soon as Will Maddox turned and turtled up, Wyatt Joyce actually sunk his hips back over the top of Will Maddox's hips. That's some next level stuff that you don't see out of a lot of these amateur fighters. So just as we mentioned earlier, that would be the downfall of William Maddox when he got the back of Wyatt Joyce earlier. He didn't lock that in and he was too high. Wyatt was able to escape. Here goes Wyatt again. He's getting those hooks in and working on flattening him out.
Yeah. There's not a lot of high percentage things that William Maddox can do to get out of this point. Just maybe ride out the time a little bit because Mr. Donnie Sunshine Fry will stop the action.
If you're Will Maddox, I'm not hearing anything coming from his corner, but what he needs to do is turn and get his back to the mat.
He's waiting out that time. He's got 10 seconds left in the second round. Dale Fry's he's not going to stop it there.
Round number 2, all Wyatt Joyce.
I think so. I think you're absolutely correct. I think William Maddox got himself in a couple of bad situations there. That second half of that second round, and just wasn't able to do the same magic he had in the first round. I think the punches bunches were working for him, and I think he needs to go back to doing that. A couple of takedowns if he can do it, get a couple of points. If he's smart, go for a couple of submissions. But
yeah, we kind of mentioned Wyatt Joyce really switching that momentum in that first round and coming out strong in the second half of the first round. He definitely kept that momentum going into the second. A lot of good work out of him, a lot of good work out of Will Maddox as well. So right now I got it 1-1. It's going to come down to this third round.
Absolutely, yeah. I do too. You know, let's see, just like you mentioned, who's got that momentum going in here for this third and final round. You
Got
know,
a little bit of blood coming from the sideburn area of Will Maddox. There's something to keep an eye on.
yeah, that left side. And both of them look very cool and calm and collective. You know, I don't see too much of the labored breathing coming from any of them. Yeah.
Going outside of the ropes. Once again, Dale Fry quick on that call.
I've seen it only once or twice in MMA fights when they have fights inside the cage, inside the boxing rings and the ropes, that guys fall out. Again, we got
I've heard of 3D. What's it called when someone ends up in your lap?
dangerous as hell. Yeah, I was gonna say
That's like a Dudley Boys 3D there.
yeah. Now that's super 3D. That's stuff they haven't invented yet.
I'm looking for Bubba Ray something.
Yeah, you're talking Samsung if you're doing coming in your lap.
Wyatt Joyce able to work his way back over into the full mount position again.
And this is almost like a continuation from that second round that Wyatt Joyce has got that mount right there.
Yeah, really kind of picking up where he left off. Will Maddox is trying to sneak in. As I say that, he actually clears the leg and gets into half guard, searching for an arm.
A little shrimp in action.
There we go. Half guard. There we go. Sit up on your side. Lock those legs. Lock those legs.
Both of these guys trying to get rid of that 500 record. They each got 1 win and 1 loss.
Sit up, sit up, sit up. It's okay, it's okay. Swim an arm over.
Front headlock by Wyatt Joyce. Good work by him clearing that arm and getting to the back. Yep. I think this guy was a wrestler as well. You can tell he knows what he's doing on the ground. Really controlling the hips and good body awareness as to where he's at on the mat. And that is the first thing you don't want to do is reach back.
Oh, it looked like he was trying to come up there.
Yep.
It looked like he was trying to get up, but Wyatt Joyce stuffed that out. And again, these two gentlemen, if MMA.com is correct on their records and stuff, these two men they've been off for a while, you know, over 2 years, maybe over 3 years in some cases. So they might have been competing, but MMA is a different animal once you try to go back inside.
That's the second time that he's ended up in that S-mount position up top. But this time he capitalizes and gets the back again. Will Maddox on the bottom, looking at his corner and shaking his head.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's out of frustration or what.
It just might be because
Wyatt Joyce postures up, landing punches.
10 seconds left. Yeah, there's no pop come out of William there. That'll end the fight. All 3 grounds, and I'm going to say we'll put a couple of dollars on Wyatt Joyce there. He took second, third round. William Maddox had a couple of places where he shined at, especially in that first round.
Yeah.
Little glimpses in that second round, but it's starting to fade.
Yeah, and you mentioned both these guys not fighting in a while, so I wonder if that was a bit of ring rust that Wyatt Joyce was dealing with at first.
Yeah, and that's clearly the case. Obviously, if you're a grappler, maybe did some jiu-jitsu competitions, it's a different animal until you get punched in the face. Everybody's got a game plan until you get hit in the face, and I think that might have been what happened there.
Yep, it took him a minute to get going, but once he did get going late in that first round, he controlled the action the rest of the round. I think this one's going to go pretty easy to the red corner of Wyatt Joyce.
But stranger things have happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges came back with a decision in a unanimous decision in the red corner, Wyatt Joyce.
And we're going to figure out if it's Wyatt Joyce or Wyatt Joyce.
It's Joyce.